Jacqueline Nyirachiza Besije. I just want to say that I usually forget that I'm a doctor, but I am an archaeologist, a doctor of archaeology, and I'm happy to inform Ugandans that in the last few years we have developed some of the heritage sites because the cultural heritage subsector is the only subsector that can diversify. As we look at our tourism policies, we focus at, one of the strategies is to diversify tourism products, or to look at the tourism, wildlife and cultural heritage diversified, as well as, of course, widening the product range. So as part of widening the product range, we have done the titling of different sites. We are acquiring other sites, including the equator, because right now we developed a profile for the equator points. Actually, the profile was first developed in 2018, but now we again looked at what the report, UTB report did in 2018, and now came up with the feasible developments that we can do within the next 4 years. And so with the help of Ministry of Finance, we did the profile, and now we are at the feasibility stage. And so in that profile, we earmarked Kayabwe, Equator Point, Ntutsi, in Zimbabwe, Kayanjantara, as well as in 4 Island in Entebbe. Right now, the teams are on ground undertaking the feasibility studies of those 4 sites. And also you are aware that we are working on Kikorongo. And so for the main Kayabwe, we have done one study on the first site, which is on the upper side of the road, or the road going to Kabale. Then the one coming this side, which is Wavamuno. So we are still valuing that one because the upper side was very expensive. They wanted over 16 billions. And so now we are valuing 30 acres on Wavamuno's property. And so we are hoping that within the next 1 month, we should be able to have acquired any of the properties, but most probably the lower side. And so we are acquiring 30 acres, and in those 30 acres, of course, we shall put key government facilities, like key that we can include, like a museum, a children's maybe park, which can be managed by private sector, and we expect to have accommodation there, because from our studies, we think that that area, the only reason why we are procuring too much land is because we think that it can be an equator town. And so promoting an equator town means that when we do the master plan, we are going to do the master plan for the whole of Kayabwe, not only our land, but we want to influence the local government that side to make sure that we do a full master plan for that road, so that all the investors or people who want to build should have structures that at least can, speak tourism. Okay, I'm Director Basil Ajer. I work at the Ministry of Tourism. We are here visiting the different projects that the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities is putting across. Behind me here you see the Karamoja Regional Museum located in Moroto. You need to appreciate the architecture first, because the architecture, as you see, depict the local cultures of the Karamojong. The house is round to show the Karamojong put their manyata. If you look at the wall fence has the stool. The Karamojong people, the elders, when they're moving, they sit on stool. So the museum is meant to bring the culture at play.
This is part of diversifying the tourism products, which is cultural tourism. We're going to have lots of artifacts which will be kept inside there. When you enter, there is a gallery. There's a section where we are going to bring the archaeology and all the different resources that we have within Karamoja. It has progressed, it's above 80%, and the minister has put here about 3 billion Uganda shillings. It has a huge impact in Karamoja sub-region. First of all, Karamoja, you know, is the cultural capital of Uganda. So we expect the Karamojong to come and display the culture. And in front there, actually, we are reserving space. We want to put green. We want to put, like, when you go to Kenya, you have the Maasai market. Here, we want to have the Karamoja market. Once in a week, people come and display the local, the local resources and the different craft that they have and we sell here. And greatly impact on the economy. Karamoja sub-region have to benefit from this. And you're aware that government is also developing the international airport at Kidepo to also bring the economy up to speed. We have Pian Upe, we have Mathaniko game parks which are around here.
We have come to realize that there is really value for money in these projects. And I want to thank the government of Uganda for injecting money here to ensure that the rich culture of Karamoja is preserved.
My name is Adeograsha Sakol. I'm the managing director of Advanta Uganda Limited. We are here in Moroto to construct the Moroto Museum that's going to be serving the region. This is the main museum, as you can see at the back, but also has facilities around it. It has a restaurant, it has a custodian house, it has a stores and a kitchen behind it, and it also has a state-of-the-art laboratory rooms where the tourists can go. So this is a project we've been running for the last 24 months, and we're now nearing completion. As you can see from the back, we are doing the external works, we are leveling and doing final finishes on the painting works.
The Ministry of Tourism, I want to thank them a lot because they have been closely with the district leadership, been monitoring this facility. So far, the facility in terms of progress, it's at 80%, 87% of the work done. In 1 month, this work will be done, will be commissioned in a few days to come. I also want to assure all the Karamojongs that this is not the facility for Moroto alone. It's for the entire Karamoja. So we need to come and display all the culture here. There are people who are really talented with a lot of things, art and craft and all that. We need to come. So we have been assured by the Ministry of Tourism that all the people who are going to be displaying the items and also selling the items, all of them will be accommodated here. They will not be outside. All of them. Not only for Moroto, but the entire Karamoja. Karamoja, all the 9 districts of Karamoja and the 2 municipalities, this is the facility. So, and I want to assure all the people of Karamoja that this is a multi-billion project.
This is on about 2.8 acres of land, more than 2.8 acres. But the building itself and the actual structure is on about 1.3 acres.
We are trying to evaluate the work. The work is so good. It has portrayed value for money. For me, as a man of Moroto, this is the best property the government has given me, and I want to thank His Excellency for this venture. I take it in good faith. I want to thank the contractor that has given us the best.
So also, as you see, we're on a hill. A lot of rain that disrupts us during production. It's also been an issue, especially during the rainy season. It becomes difficult. We've seen our road that brings us up the mountain. Sometimes we fail to ferry the materials up during the rainy season. But those are minor things that we can. So we also have solutions for that. We've been trying to stockpile materials whenever the day is good. We stockpile so that production can continue normally.
I think I'm proud to say this is the best in the country. And to the impact of this project to my people, one, I'm already having a heart of some people who are already employed here. I'm already getting impact on that one. Then Karamoja being very rich in our culture, we are proud to say, yeah, it is now telling the world that we are here and everything that you want about Karamoja, you can find it here.
And it will be a good tourist attraction for our people. So we try to use a modern approach to give a traditional feeling of the structure.
But in terms of finances, the contractor has been on the site throughout. So the local community was throughout engaged. They have been also getting something small for school fees and their daily welfare. So this is a facility which is here located in the slopes of Mount Moroto is going to be secure as the government has brought really peace in Karamoja.
So we are at about 87% completion level, and we're in the final finishing stages. We are looking at things like final paintings. If you see our buildings, inside the wall has already been prepared for the final coat. There's already undercoat on the walls, but because we are still doing some floor finishes, we are keeping it on until the floors are done, and then we do the final painting. But most of the works now we're focusing on are external works, which is the gardening and stone carving, and working on the stormwater channels. So it's mostly external works that we are focusing on, and final finishes on painting. Then we can close the project.
And one of the beautiful things the beauty of the location is that it is at the foot of the mountain. So for mountain climbers, they are going to benefit a lot, because at least they will have a place where to start from and to end from. Before, they have been climbing without any shelter, without any toilet, without any facility, just climbing and coming back. But now we are also in Karamoja. We have provided space for private sector to come and put restaurant, because as government, we cannot do work of private sector. And we hope that the nature state-of-art museum that we have put there will be able to attract other investors to come and work with us.
We also have other projects which are developing as Ministry of Tourism. We have the Kabalenga and Mwange site in Doholo, which we have just visited, guys, and that one has proceeded.
I'm called Barbara Ketch, the Resident District Commissioner for Dokolo District. I am so happy for this project. I have to start by thanking the government of Uganda and through Ministry of Tourism for assigning and allocating some budget for the construction of this project. This project, I started learning about this project, about this historical site. I'd come here, they told me the story, I picked interest. And I have to thank the media houses in the region. And this project is only one in Lango sub-region. That is why I'm saying I'm so happy. Out of the 10 districts in Lango, we are the only people who have benefited from this kind of project. Who was behind this project? It was Honorable Cecilia Ogwal, who was a member of parliament in this district. May her soul rest in peace. On Saturday, we celebrated, we prayed, we had a memorial prayer where she was laid to rest. And the talk of the day was on these historical sites across the region. She participated so much in ensuring this project succeeds. But unfortunately, she left when the project was undergoing construction.
We are also, of course, working in Dokolo. Some of you, I don't know if you've reached there, but to the Ugandans in Dokolo, of course, we are developing the Kabalenga Mwange heritage site in commemoration of Kabalenga and Mwange, who repelled the British colonial rule. And so that story will also come. And of course, we said Parliament at that time also argued us to do it in honor of late Honorable Cecilia Ogwal, who was passionate about their culture, about the events that occurred in that region. And so we should be able to bring out the history of the area that will not only benefit the tourists but also the learners, since we integrate our activities to benefit school because it's part of the curriculum.
This is the first phase. Why I am happy about this is because this project came when I was an RDC in this district, and I have something to say about it. Whether I will leave this district tomorrow, the next day, my heart will still be here. This historical site will boost the economy of this district through local revenue. And as I talk now, we are requesting the ministry to put for us a staff here so that we start, because there are a lot of people who are coming to visit this site, and after visiting it, we don't have someone who is guiding them to tap some resources from them. When I went out the other time, we talked about this historical site, and we are advocating, especially to our brothers in Bunyoro and Buganda, also to pick it up, to really pick interest to know what really happened between people of Lango and Buganda and Bunyoro. Dokolo district or Dokolo community are so good. They have good heart. They are so supportive. I am so touched when I heard about this story where they hosted people they don't know, and they took care of them, giving them food. They stayed here and they were okay, not until they were captured.
My name is Santo Okuja. I am a resident of this area and area councillor representing this town council of Kangai at the district. At the same time, I'm a member of the district executive committee. So I'm here representing the district leadership. This place, I am first of all happy to our grandfathers for hosting the two kings that were actually being chased. So for years they settled here, and our grandees hosted them, protected them, and they stayed here for quite a number of years. So it was a fight actually when they came, but they were protected. So I'm happy for our grandees for having done that. Today we are here very happy to receive this kind of project as Kangai Town Council. This kind of project is not just, but it's going to help in cooperation between Buganda Kingdom, Bunyoro, and Lango. And I urge the Bunyoro King and the Buganda Kingdom also to come up so that bondage that we had before, that our grandees had before, could still continue and stand. As people of Kangai and Dokolo district, we are happy to the NRM government having accepted to actually put this billion of shillings in memory of this area. And this will help Dokolo as a whole and Kangai Town Council in particular. If this project get into the completion, we shall have the resources from here.
This project, when this phase one will get done, I'm praying that the ministry should support us quickly so that it's completed. And if it is completed, it will be a very, very beautiful place. According to the design which was presented to us and the design that we have, it is a very beautiful place. And I don't think in this region there is a project that will be like this one. Any historical site, I don't think, will be like this. So I want to use this opportunity to invite our brothers and sisters from Buganda and Bunyoro to visit these places. Their kabakas, their kings should really come and pick interest. This is where their sons were taken care of, where they were captured from. They come also and appreciate the community. Just come and visit. Just check where were they captured from. And this will give us a lot of courage and, as like we shall say, appreciation. We want them to really have it like this project is theirs. This is my cry. I remember I talked about it in Oima when I went for tour. We raised it And we requested them to pay a courtesy call, to pay a visit to the site. So this historical site is very important to me because of two things. One, it will boost our economy as a district. Two, it is a memorial site for our kings, and it shows the solidarity and hospitality of the people of Lango sub-region. Then three, this project is part of me because I broke the ground for the construction. That is a history that I will have it. Now here I will be part of this project, historical site forever. Then three, Cecilia Ogwalu was an icon in this region, advocated for this, and it was constructed. So it makes it a very, very important site for us.
The museum is being constructed, the recreational center, the accommodation, and the Kabalenga Mwange site in Doholo is a place where the Kabaka of Buganda and Mukama of Bunyoro were arrested by the colonial government. It's a big site. We're injecting about 15 billion Uganda shillings. It has progressed. It has progressed to about 45%, and second phase will actually complete the project. Both projects will have to activate tourism. You need to diversify the products of tourism from predominantly nature-based, predominantly wildlife, and then you appreciate culture, and then you appreciate the history of the place, and eventually we help to attract numbers. So the Doholo site particularly connects with a Kibwa Stadium, which is actually being developed, because when you come to Lira, you come for sports, there should be a place to visit. And closer there, ministry is going to develop the Barlonye site. Funding have actually been secured to develop the Barlonye site, and that will be launched very soon. The contract has been identified.
We are trying to also develop Balonyo Memorial Site, where about 320 Ugandans died during the LRA war. Those who were boiled, burnt on 21st of February 2006. And so that one, the president recently was there, and he always visits to go and lay wreath at the site. And so it's one of the areas where we are speaking about, apart from commemoration, remembrance, but how do we prevent those such atrocities to happen again in Uganda. So basically in cultural heritage, we do not only look at tourism, but we will look at how can culture also bring peace, how can we promote peace. Of course, the place has been a site where people come for reconciliation. So all that will be showcased, and we are going to put a type of a building whereby we are going to exhume the bodies that were just buried by the soldiers then, and then because for decency, we had just put a cement, but now we are going to count them. We shall be able within the new structure to exhume them, count them, and rebury them. So some of them will be able to be visible so that people can know. For those of you who have visited Rwanda, the memorial sites, some of these things are visible for people to know. If we are talking about people being burnt, can you see and get to say that at least this person was burnt? If it was a cut mark, can you see a cut mark on the head, on the arm? So those are the things that we shall be looking at for people to understand indeed how bad it was.
So the ministry actually is doing lots of work. When you go to Jinja, Source of the Nile project, which we visited last time, Source of the Nile has actually picked very well, and the project has progressed relatively well. When you go, there's now a modern pier where it allows for docking. There's a viewing tower, there's a glass bridge, so that you are able to see when you go to Source of the Nile. It shouldn't be the place which is not developed. We have only one Source of the Nile in the whole world, and we need to really make the best use of it.
The Source of the Nile is unique in that we are the only country that has the source of the Nile. The Nile is the longest river in the world, so it flows through over 11 countries. But we are privileged to have the source. But this is the first time that government of Uganda has developed serious infrastructure at the source of the Nile, because as a tourism sector, we are now in the drive to increase the numbers, increase the length of stay and the spend.
Engineer Caroline Chisauzi is my name. The project manager, managing director, Cornerstone Design and Engineering Limited. We've been the consultants managing and supervising the project on phase 1 of the source of the modern pier at the source of the Nile. To date, we want to proudly say we are coming to the close of phase 1 project, and presently we have been able to achieve about 98% completion for phase 1. As I've mentioned, it's just the phase 1. We are anticipating a subsequent phase in the very near future. So what entails phase 1 has been basically the main building that we see over here and the toilet block that is behind this building. Then we had the bridge, that rectangular block of structure that has a bridge at the top, a restaurant in the middle tier, and then a kitchen area at the bottom floor. And that bridge connects to a modern pier. I think right now we presently see some scaffold around it. We are right now presently finishing up the painting works around it, but in 2 weeks we should be done with the scope of phase 1. So also phase 1 externally has also entailed working on the civil works, the parking areas, and the first layers of the civil works have been completed.
We did a study which showed us that most of the tourists who came to the source of the Nile were not return visitors. In other words, most people who came here never returned, and maybe they didn't even tell other people about it because there was nothing much to show. So we have invested now as government. As you have seen, we have done some very impressive infrastructure. We've done a pier where boats will be able to dock. We have done restaurants, we have done washrooms, we've done a viewing deck, glass deck, with that bridge. So this will not only improve the numbers that come to the source of the Nile, but Jinja as a city, because it's a big attraction. But because of budgetary constraints, we have done one phase, which is now about 98% complete. But we are about to start the second phase, which will now at least complete this part before we go into a wider area.
So as I've mentioned, we anticipate a subsequent phase that will ensure that all the pending civil works are completed, the beautification shall come into the subsequent phase, and there are many other extra additions to this project that we shall see. Some of these additions shall be in the water. We shall have floating jetties, and we will have some nature walkways at the bottom edge of this area that will be close to the riverbank. And we will have some gabion seating and amphitheater seating and roadworks that will come in the subsequent phase.
This first phase, which is about to be completed, was 15 billion shillings, but the second phase will be about 26 billion.
Still within Jinja, Crested Crane Hotel has been actually developed. It is now being elevated to a 3-star hotel. Construction is complete. There's a few fittings inside that should be done, and very soon it will be launched to the public. All these are attempts to diversify the tourism products, but also within the Crested Crane Hotel we have the Hotel and Tourism Training College, so that we have a competent human resource to drive the tourism sector. You may be talking about the resources we have, but when you don't have the right personnel, you cannot bring the visitors. So that hotel is upgraded so that the students who are trained in the school can get hands-on experience in the application hotel.
This place is called the Uganda Hotel and Tourism Training College, which has a hotel where we are right now and a college. We have a hotel which we'll call a training hotel of 82-bedroom capacity, meaning that at full capacity, single occupancy, we can have at 82 guests. With double occupancy, we can go up to about 150, 160 bed capacity. It's fully equipped with a 400-seater conference room, our receptions, and all other facilities that are required to be in a hotel. In the setting, from the founding, the designers, the hotel to be built was supposed to be built at standard 3 rating, which we call star 3. However, in the designs and the facilities on the ground can enable us to actually go a star up. If we up our gaming service and fix most of the increase on our provision ranges and other facilities, when you put some of the missing facilities that we're going to put in the next financial year, like the spa, the swimming pool, we have capacity actually to increase our rating to a 4-star. But in design, it was designed as a what? A 4-star. And if you've traveled, you'll find some hotels that brand themselves, we are 3-star but with a 5-star service. I think you've seen some of those hotels. So if we're able to ensure that we capitalize on our infrastructure and also give the best service, with a very good range, you can be able to go a star up and actually give you a very good experience. The lower facilities we have is the classroom block, where students do the classroom lectures. It's a block with over 14 classrooms. 5 of them are going to be digital enabled. The others are also digital enabled with projectors, but these ones are going to be what we call digital classrooms, 5 of them. We have the equipment to upgrade them to a digital classroom. The advantage of a digital classroom is you can be here and your lecturer is seated in the US teaching you. And the interaction, because of the equipment that we're going to put in those rooms, brings almost, it's more of a live class. It's the technology brings the lecturer in the US very close to you. He can be able to perform simulations and you'll be able to see them. So 5 of our classrooms are going to be digital enabled, extremely digital enabled, to be able to provide that kind of training where we may have experts that may not be able to be present here all the time, but we can have them online. Our school is equipped with a full facilitated and equipped, I would call it clinic that also serves the hospital in case of emergencies. We have a state-of-the-art library with online learning resources, and also you can access computers in the library. It's not only books, physical books, but also we have computers available. We have a 500-seater hall capacity, and I would say the biggest in Jinja. If you need a hall, it is the biggest in Jinja and of that standard. So we can be able to support institutions, NGOs, and government with conferencing facilities. So basically, I would say this is a one of a kind in Uganda.
And many other projects. When you go to Kitagata, we have a project which is progressing very well, and many other parts of the country.
There is what we call a product, a tourism product. We cannot rely only on what we offer in our national parks. There must be other tourism products in the country to attract tourists. Then there is the source of the Nile. There is construction going on now at the source of the Nile. When that one is completed, we expect tourists to come to visit specifically, isn't it, the source of the Nile. And we are about to finish that. The pier, the source of the Nile, our friend is the Egyptians, the Indians, and other friends, isn't it, should be coming here to visit the source of the Nile River, which is famous. So that is project number one. Then we can talk of other products. There is, for example, the Helena Camp, Rwenzori Mountain, isn't it? So people can now go to Rwenzori. There is a fully fledged, built, modern place now where they can stay and then climb the mountain. That's another product. Very soon we shall be beginning to work on the glass bridge at the Machishon Falls National Park. That glass bridge, if you have been to Machishon, you will now walk on that bridge and you can see the spectacular fall, isn't it? Okay, so that one will be good. So we are going to have, and then talk of Kikorongo. Have you been to Kikorongo? Kikorongo was built. Kikorongo is a monument where it is the Equator Monument. Kikorongo is on your way from Kasese, on that road to Queen Elizabeth National Park. And if you stop at Kikorongo now, it's a modern structure, very beautiful, isn't it? And we expect tourists. So that if you are visiting Fort Portal, then you move to Kasese, you can have a stopover at Kikorongo Equator Monument. Spend a good 1 hour there, and then you can continue to Queen Elizabeth National Park, and you can stay there. So that's another product. So we are working and building on these products so that a tourist spends at least a good 8 days occupied, isn't it, in Uganda? Because when they come, they spend 2 days and finish. There is nothing more to see. So we have to construct, we have to build, we have to develop more products, tourism products, so that we can keep the tourist here for good days, 8 days or 7 days, and make some money.